We're going to talk about Advisor today, guys. Advisor, Johnny.
I'm looking forward to it. I am really proud of this, and I think it's awesome. And
It's a
it's
lot.
super
It's a lot of
successful
work.
in terms of like getting some deals done. So I want to
It
shout
is.
it from the rooftops.
All right, let me show you guys what's going on here, okay? What I'm talking about right here is if I go to custom services, right? You got market intelligence. That's all of our content, in case you didn't know. Market snapshot, we do that every week on Friday. And custom services. Guys, I want you guys to think of us as an extension of your own team. Imagine having access to like a New York City data and engineering team, right? It goes beyond just advisor. Okay. If you guys need data, all right, I want you guys to think of us. We are problem solvers. If you guys have newsletters you're trying to put together and you don't have access to the data, one-time data solutions. If you have a property pricing report, that's advisor. Okay, guys. I wanted to show you before I start this whole presentation where you go to do these things. You do it in custom services, request a sample report, and that's going to take you to our advisor form. And this is where you request a discovery demo on your situation. Okay, it goes through a whole process that we have set up here, and this is basically the advisor landing page that we created. Okay, in short, it's a neutral, independent pricing service. That's all it is. John, did I say that correctly? Pricing service?
Well, yes. I mean, look, we do talk about price, but it's more about setting expectations. And I think we're going to get into this. We prepared this little,
Yeah, well, I'll do this because we're early. But yes,
yeah,
let's
there
do
you
it.
go. We got
Ah,
this.
looks so much better. We let you guys in. You guys see everything behind the scenes.
This is how the sausage is made.
This is how the sausage is made. All right, go ahead, John. Yeah.
Well, so yeah, that being said, so if you join me for an advisor demo, we talk about the issues facing the property. And basically the whole point of advisor is to sort of get in there and set expectations from the beginning. So if you've got a pre-listing, we want to help anchor seller expectations in reality. So it's less about where you should price with a laser focused thing like, oh, it should be 1495. It's more about, look, here's the range we think buyers are going to be approaching this property. So you can price
Yeah.
wherever it is you want. But when a low offer comes in and it's within the range of acceptability, we don't want the seller to think, "Whoa, my God, this is just I can't believe it. What kind of job are you doing as an agent? You're getting these low offers." Like we trying to set those expectations right off the bat, where when an offer comes in at whatever point, the seller understands, like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's you said buyers would be around here. That's where they're coming in. All right, well, hopefully we can get something higher." But at least you're sort of crossing that boundary in terms of like getting that passing that friction point. If you've already
Yeah.
on the market, we try to reset those expectations. So it's really kind of about approaching the market from a buyer standpoint to really sort of align those expectations to get a deal done quick. We want to get you a
And
contract in 2 weeks. That's our goal.
I've done over 130 advisor reports with John. This service was created purely from demand. You have to understand that, guys. We didn't just pull this out of nowhere. We've been doing this for about a year and a half, couple of years now. Agents approached us to do these, and after we've done so many of them, we're like, maybe there's a service here, and we started investing in it. That's what the end result of this whole thing is. It's pure demand. And as John said, I love how you, John, talking to you now, I love how you approach these reports from a buy side mindset because me and you have had some philosophical disagreements when doing these reports, right? And coming up to conclusions. And you would
Yeah.
argue philosophically the same every way. Like this is your religion is that, hey, we're approaching this from a fungibility standpoint. If I got $5 million to spend, what else could I get that's like in the same kind of class as this property? That property is not a good deal. And that seller's misaligned. Misaligned. Guys,
Right.
it's all about expectations, right?
Yeah. And
Go
let me
ahead, John.
just and let me I just want to say before we get into this session is meant to be sort of an infomercial. We're telling you about this program. We're sort of
Yes.
showing you how it works. But if you have any questions about it, please feel free to ask your questions. I mean, you know us.
Yeah.
You ask any question, we're probably going to answer it. But I just want to let you know that we're totally open for discussion at any point. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah. And
keep that
thanks
in
for
mind.
telling us that we were live. We didn't know it. That
Yes,
that's
that
always
was
good to
helpful.
know.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I want to just repeat a couple things that you're seeing here, guys, because I want to see if this resonates with what's going on. Sellers get anchored to the highest comp they
Hmm.
see. This happens all the time. Buyers lack confidence in bidding strategy. This misalignment in expectation, it causes delays, it causes friction, it causes tough conversations, right? Most listings don't struggle because the market's bad. They struggle because the expectations weren't aligned from the start, from day one, which means these are conversations that should happen pre-listing for sellers, guys. We do a lot of price amendment reports. Okay, we do a lot of price amendment reports on day 150. And they're like, we're going to lose it in 20 days and 30 days. Save us. Yeah, it's good for those situations, but it would have been a hell of a lot easier if we came in at a much earlier point in the listing. Okay, think about that, right? Why it works. Okay. At the end of the day, we are a third party data authority that removes friction. Okay. The sellers have to go through the 5 stages of grief to ultimately make a decision. I have to get out of here. Let me get out of here, guys. How do I get out of here? Okay. I get out of here. I got to go here. Okay. If you've heard me talk about this, I'm sorry for being repetitive. If you're new to the 5 stages of grief, I guarantee you something is going to relate to you in the next minute or so as I go through this. You could do this yourself on Google 5 stages of grief. I want you guys to focus here. This is a psychological principle that all sellers, most sellers go through. All right. It's very rare that you have a seller that accepts what the market's actually doing in reality and let the market do its things. No, most sellers start in denial. Why? Because their expectations are misaligned. That's it. They think this, you're telling them this, you get paid a commission to do their deal. They don't believe you. They want to try a different area and they're up here. That's
Yeah.
what happens.
So let me just give you some practical applications of that. The biggest one we've seen revolves around renovation. Sometimes you have sellers who like, look, are you talking about my property is renovated? I did it 20 years ago. This is top of the
15
line
years ago,
appliances.
top
Great.
notch.
Okay, so that's one. Sometimes you have a seller who's got a comp in the apartment, comp in the building, same line, except for some reason that line faces south and gets this all awesome light, and your unit does not, right? Or has outdoor space, right? Or there's something about it, or they heard something from a friend that they should be getting this, right? Or another agent gave them some high number. All of these tend to anchor sellers to the highest number they can possibly hear. And so when we come
And
in, or
create denial.
we being the agent community who's grounded in reality, come in and say, well, we think the agent buyers are going to be here. Well, no, no, I don't think that's true. No, 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 that can't be that. Not me. This property is fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah, denial.
that feeds into the denial. You know what also a great
Not just
situation?
a river in
Oh,
Egypt.
what about the property a block down? What about that guy? He's a 2 bedroom, 2 bath.
Yeah.
He's a condo. He's
Have you
pre-war,
heard these
whatever it
stories?
is. What's that? What?
Has everybody heard these stories? Don't we? I mean, we could
No.
we could do a set we could do an entire session on the craziness that sellers bring to the
Oh, it's
table
not. It's
about
it's. Oh, I've
why.
encountered all of them. I'm still encountering new things, but denial is very real, and it exists, and it is hard to break. To break it, you have to move through these different emotional stages, and that's what we call the 5 stages of grief. They have to go from denial. They have to get to anger, guys. Anger, right? Has a seller ever blamed you for not selling the property? Right? I've been on some nasty calls. I've been lucky to be on calls with this advisor service because we also do calls. We'll get on a call if you want to call with the seller and go over everything. And I've seen the clients literally go from denial to anger to bargaining to depression to acceptance by the end of the call. And during the call, they were nasty to the brokers on there, like insulting. I couldn't believe it. I called the guy out. I told you guys this before because I don't want to face for that. It's not their fault. It's your fault, right? They get angry. Why aren't you doing enough? Why aren't you marketing this? Is this even an RLS? What the hell are you doing? Right? Then they go to bargaining. Then they go to bargaining, right? Fine. We got to lower the price. Can we do it 2%? Can we do it in 2 months? Right? They're bargaining with you. They don't want to get there. They're getting closer. They're inching. Then they go to depression. You know you're in depression when they start to say the words, I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Depression means you're right at the doorstep of acceptance. Okay, that's depression is like the result of acceptance seeping in and taking control. You just don't care anymore. And acceptance comes, you come to terms with it. You accept your situation. Let's go back here. I want to present this. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, that's buyers. I want sellers, right? Expedite decisions by getting sellers to accept the situation. And when you look at it from this light, and you look at it from this angle, You might approach getting them to move through those stages of grief more expeditiously. And
Mhm.
that's what advisor is. That's it. Okay. Okay. Let's just redo this. Go over here. Reduce conflict with no vested interest in the transaction. Do not underestimate that your client may not be listening to you because they think that you just want the deal done and to get paid. Okay. Strategic data-backed price amendment advice. That's the whole thing about these reports. It's backed by data. That's what's easy for John and I, right? The data tends to talk. What's hard is the intelligence that you guys have that we need to do a knowledge transfer of. And we do that before every report's done. We have a discovery call on these reports. Okay? Think about that. Open sellers' eyes on market temperature and pricing probabilities before listing. This is the critical mistake, in my opinion. If you're going on listing pitches and it doesn't make sense to pay for a report, I get it because you may not win the pitch. I understand. You don't want to spend money on a report and not win the pitch. Have you tried something? When you go on the listing pitches, you could do your thing. You know that there's 2 or 3 other brokers that are pitching. Tell them, here's my report, but there's one thing I'm going to do on top of this. Should you sign a listing agreement with me, I will commission a second report, neutral independent report to get another set of eyes from this service, right? If you list with me so that we could start day one of the listing journey with eyes wide open, maybe they have a different perspective on where we should be priced. Pricing is the hardest thing in the world to do, probably outside of hitting a 90-mile-an-hour baseball with a round bat, right? It is hard. It is hard. You bring appraisers, you bring 3 appraisers to a property, they're all over the place with appraisals. Figuring out what it, once I hold that thought, John, figuring out what an illiquid housing market is going to produce a bid for that property before the market's produced a bid for that property is one of the hardest things we could possibly do. It does not work in a vacuum. And to think that every one of us is going to come up with a price that's right in line, no, we got to come up with ranges and zones and figure out where likely market zone is, where test the market zone is, where outside the market zone is, price for immediate sale is. We have to come up with those alignments of visuals, and that's what this is about. Go ahead, John.
No, I think you're exactly right. I mean, look at it. This does not take place in a vacuum, right? So it's an open market, and we haven't met the buyers and the sellers have not yet met. So we're really trying to understand. Well, when a buyer does approach this unit, how are they looking at it? What are the comps they're looking at? What's the market temperature that the market sentiment that we're operating in? Is this a hot market? Is it a slow market? Like what's going on and all of that stuff. And to your point, Noah, we do happen to partner with an appraiser. So if a virtual
Yes.
appraisal would help sort of get you across the finish line, that is something we offer as well. Um, but one of the things that we've had a lot of put, it's interesting because a lot of brokers, when we talk about the appraiser, like, I don't want to work with an appraiser. They just backfit the numbers. And it's absolutely right. So if you've ever worked with appraisers previously, what happens is they come in, they have a contract ahead of in front of them that says, oh, the buyers and the sellers agreed to this price. And sure enough,
Yep.
the appraiser comes in with a price that matches it.
Right at
So
that price. Yeah.
right at that price, which, if you take that away, you take that contract away, you're absolutely right. This is a really, really difficult thing to do. And so the way we do it is approach it from that buyer standpoint. And that's what we're talking about. And that's why we talk about more about expectations and pricing zones versus, hard and fixed laser focused prices, because in a sense that we're sort of even trying to predict the future here. So
Yeah, it's tough. John's asking, what is the cost of this report? You mentioned the report I would commission you after I got the listing. We have that. John, could you hit that rate card into the end of the slide deck if possible so we could show it at the end?
yes, I will put that
Okay.
in while
Let,
you're
let John add
blabbing
that to the
away.
slide. Hopefully this all works seamlessly. We'll get to that at the end, John. Okay, well, because we've learned. We've lost money on a lot of reports trying to figure out what right pricing should be because it's a very unique situation for very complex properties and it's different for easy properties. So we'll go over that at the end, right? This is now just quick. I'm telling you guys what it's for. Why Advisor works on buyers. It works on buyers. It works on buyers. I've seen it. I've seen it. It sells confidence. It sells confidence. It gives, we are selling confidence to your buyers. Like, do you want to buy that for your buyers? That's what it is. It is this neutral, independent, trusted authority of data going over all the elements of this property that this buyer is about to bid on. And what it does is it removes uncertainty. That's all it does. Multiple offer situations. Let's visualize where our stretching point is. We know we got to stretch. We got to go over the ask. At what level are we starting to push it? That's what this is for, right? Bring it up with your buyers. Some agents have had their buyers pay for this, chip in for this if they can't afford it, right? I understand because it's not a given, right? You don't want to buy a report for something you may not get a deal on. I understand that. I totally get that. I'm respective of it, right? But when you do buy a report and then you do get a deal and you end up making $20,000, $30,000 for a report that you paid $695 or $595 for, starts to make sense. That's the ballpark of where we start with these reports. It starts at $495, just to answer that quick question. Okay. Um, this is a key line here, guys. Transparency. I preach this with our workshops anyway. You guys could do this on your own. You guys could do this on your own. You guys can. The report that me and John created, the advisor report, is our version of what to do, right? Doesn't involve you. You can make your own set of reports on UrbanDigs. We preach the exact same thing. Transparency equals clarity. Clarity equals declining uncertainty equals confident bidding. I want to put phrases and quotes around confident bidding. That's it. Because that's all that matters. You don't want hesitation. You don't want second guessing. You don't want anything that delays the confident bidding mentality of your buyer. You want your buyer to go into this happy, stress-free, comfortable. Okay? Then they'll do what they got to do. Then let the market and the buyer do their thing. Okay. Real quick, who is it for? It's for agents seeking a competitive advantage. That's what this is. Right? This is you bringing in something as a nuclear weapon to provide to your client that's going above and beyond. That's what this is. Pre-listing, price amendments, buyers. Those are the top three. Yes, it works for investors and developers and feasibility studies and legal and estate conditions and legal valuations for governments. We've done it all. But the top three is pre-listing, price amendments, and buyers. John, any thoughts here?
Well, I'm doing the rate card at the end, like you asked me to. But
Okay, I'm
yes,
sorry.
I
I'm
did
sorry.
that.
I did not know that.
Yes. So these are the primary uses. There's a whole bunch of secondary uses, I think, Noah, which you may have just, I mean, we've done it for developments. We've done it for estates. We've done it for people who just want data, who just are interested in data, not necessarily interested in like a sale. They just want data on their unit. We've done that too. So we've handled all numbers of reports for all kinds of both buyers and sellers. So
Yeah. If you're on this call and if you ordered an advisor before, okay, you'll be familiar with a couple of these slides in here. The advisor output, the deliverable, is constantly undergoing evolvement. Okay. It's phase 3 of 7 or 10. Like it's just going to keep getting better and better and better and more digestible, shorter, very short, a little shorter, so it's not overwhelming. To tell the right story. What is this data telling us? That's the whole point of this report. Easy to digest pricing conclusions. Where are all these analysis coming in, right? Easy to understand pricing probability zones. Take a look at the right slide here. Likely market range, test the market, outside the market. We're the ones that first did this. We're the ones innovating all of this. I'm sure in another year or two, we'll see other people copying this stuff out here. You know who you are out there. But for us, this is what we're doing because this is what we know works. This is what I know works. I've been on calls and I've seen sellers go, oh, this is really easy to understand. I get this. Okay. You got to paint the right picture. Get that yes conversation.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to share that. I mean, the goal of each of these reports is to, and I'll be frank, these
Well,
things
you're
are
John.
they are total data overkill. This thing is going to come at you like a kitchen sink of data. It is like 20 pages. It is way too much. But there are some clients that will just devour
It
that.
works.
Like, give me more. And there's some clients who are like, I just whoa, 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 just tell me, hit me the high notes. So we give you enough ammunition so you can pick and choose what you want to sell. But I mean, the whole point is that we're going to turn over every rock for you on your behalf so you can provide this to your clients, and you look like some sort of badass fiduciary by doing so. But the point is that every single one of these reports is geared toward the listing itself, and it tells the story of that unit itself. So if it's a renovation story, an outdoor space story,
Yeah,
nothing
good
is sold in
point.
the building, or the board's been turning down, offers because they feel like the price is too low. Just had a Forbes article out on that. You should check that out.
Yep.
We reference all of these points, and every one of these starts with a call with you to kind of get that entire data downloaded, the whole story of the unit, which gets put into this report. So,
That's
you
a key
come
thing. Yep.
this is like a third party neutral. It's like a Carfax kind of thing, a real estate. The seller sees it. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, all right, I get it. I get it. All right, and it's coming from you. So it really helps when we talk about eliciting that client decision. That's why, because we're talking about the actual unit itself, and we're not talking about, hey, here's what's happening in Manhattan real estate. Hey, here's what's happening in the Upper East Side in the last quarter. It's like, no, right now, today, this is what the market for your unit looks like. You have a 2-bed, 2.5 bath co-op on the Upper East Side. It's like, super, super hyper local, laser focused stuff.
Yeah.
Continue.
No, and sometimes it is data overwhelming. But what it does is it creates a scenario where the seller understands that everything was analyzed that's relevant to what they're dealing with, right? And a lot of the times, guys, it comes down to market temperature, not even price. Well, price is always. It's always a price. Like price is always one of those things, right? But market temperature. It's usually one of these overlooked things. I go on some of these calls and these sellers like, oh, I never even knew about this challenging listing environment.
Yeah.
Well, you should have, because it might explain the situation we're in. I can't control what you guys send or do not send to your clients before we go into this whole thing, right? But this is what we do. You guys should be spending your time bringing in more leads, bringing in more business, growing your business, right? You should not be spending hours and days creating reports to have a
Yeah.
client conversation on this. You can outsource that to us. Go ahead.
So we're really hitting some of the high notes here, but there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So we do a seasonality analysis, a buyer pool analysis. So we're looking at multiple lenses to sort of understand the unit and understand the market. So at the core of this, there's two main ways that we analyze any given unit. We have the market sentiment. What's the market sentiment for this? Is it strong market, weak market? What's the market climate, et cetera? And then we have the pricing lens. And with the goal is to sort of synthesize those. So if you're standing in the place of a buyer right now, today, how is a buyer looking at this unit? Are they going to be nervous to bid for this? Or are they going to say, wow, this is an awesome deal, and they're going to pay ahead? So the key is, finding that balance.
Yeah. Take a look at the right here real quick, guys. UrbanDigs, we do our own comps analysis. Okay. I don't know if you guys knew this. We're allowed to do this. We don't need an appraisal license. If you're not doing it for a bank, if you're just providing an opinion of value, there's nothing wrong with what we're doing. But if you require a virtual licensed appraisal, we have partnered with Gotham Valuation and Andrew Goodman, 27 years in the business. We think he's a very competent appraiser. Those two words don't come that often in this business. And he listens as well. We listen, we do a knowledge transfer, we do an intelligence transfer before every report, so you can give us the information we need to know about the property. Andrew does that as well. Doesn't mean he's going to do it, doesn't mean he's going to use it, but he'll consider it, he'll review it, he'll look at it, and then we outsource that element and we put it into our report. So you have that as an added element in the pricing lens, as John talked about. It's just again a double instead of a single data authority, you're getting two elements here, right? And this is all designed for decisions, all designed for decisions. Any questions here, John? By the way, if you guys have questions about
Well,
this,
I was
just
just
let me
typing
know.
an answer. How long does it take to return a report? So typically,
Yeah,
usually it takes about 2 to 3 days, depending on complexity. So if you're going to say like, look, guys, I've got this 50-foot wide conjoined townhouse in Upper Manhattan, it's probably going to take us a little longer because that is like
yeah.
needle in a haystack territory. We're going to have to sort of create models to understand that.
Combined penthouses with huge outdoor
Yeah,
space,
if
same
you've
thing.
got something a little bit more, if you've got something basically under 4 million to under 2 million, like that's a 2-day turnaround, 2 to 3 days. Like that's 90% of them two
Max
to three
3 days.
days.
Yeah,
We have agents who sometimes order these things well in ahead. So we have agents actually prepaying now, using using their advertising dollars now to cover reports that may be delivered for certain units that they want in early January. So that does happen. And then we also have agents that are like, look, I need this afternoon. I need like same day turnaround. Can you do it? And if we can, we can. We accommodate it. I mean, this is all.
we will add an expeditious fee
Yeah.
if you ask for that. I'll tell you that right now,
I mean,
because
I need a new pair of shoes. What can I say?
and it's always the most challenging ones that are like, I need it like tonight.
I know.
it's just, and
So
then me and John worked until 10 o'clock. Um, Done it before. We'll do it again. Yeah, guys, agents. I mean, Michael Davis over at Compass, he had a $8-9 million property listing. It was expiring. We got him like, was it $900,000? Was No, it was a
it was a
million dollar
million
price
dollar price
reduction.
cut.
Ordered advisor report, got $1 million price cut, got a relisting agreement, got the thing in contract in the second round, and
That was cool.
he attributes that to the report helping that. That was just incredible. So he's a customer for life of this. Celeste, we've worked with Celeste a number of times. She is a repeat customer. When the situation is right fit, she comes right to us to provide it. Lisa Larson, of course, had a townhouse. We filmed our little video there, promotion there, and we provided an advisor report. She got a price amendment, and that got closed. So this is something that is working, guys. It is working. I have some success stats for you. I mentioned the
Yep.
highest price reduction we got was a million, cool million, and one from a report. That was a great feeling. We priced over $620 million worth of properties in this thing. We just officially launched this, right? We were just doing this here and there. We really just officially launched this a little while ago. Average price reduction achieved that we could calculate 7.7%. Average price reduction amount 250, and over 130 reports that we delivered. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
A couple of questions. Do we need to
yeah, that's
provide you
it.
with photos or videos of the property? Any other info we need to provide? Whatever you can give us, we will take.
Yep.
We usually, like we said, if this is something you want to do, we jump on a call with you and we spend about 10 minutes reviewing the property and especially your thoughts on the property. And one of the things we want to accomplish is have that understanding of some of the aspects of the unit that are not necessarily, they can't necessarily be pulled from a listing, a text, or the pictures. Like when you walk in, how does it feel? Does it feel like it needs work? Does it feel like it just kind
Is
of
it
like,
dated?
is it dated, right? These kind of things.
Yeah,
So yeah, start on that and we'll take any information you can give us. Queens, sadly, no, we don't have the data for Queens. We are
working on it.
hoping to get it at some point, but we would love to.
Kills me.
So sorry,
We have
Karen, we
Manhattan
don't
and
have
Brooklyn
Queens.
right now that we're pretty much doing it. And once we get the data for Queens and we
Yeah.
get that loaded up, we can do these reports.
And then so here's one. If the property is particularly unique and difficult to price, would you ever visit it
Oof.
to get a clear sense of it? The answer is yes, and we've done that. So
And
we've had some,
the appraiser will have to probably visit as well if
yeah.
it's
So if
that
there's an
unique.
appraiser
Yeah.
involved, like we can, that's an add-on. We can do that too. But yes, we have done that. I have been to some super funkies in my in my tenure here. I
Yeah.
have visited some really crazy places. And most of the time it helps. Sometimes it's like I didn't need to see this. This is no one should see this.
But
But
sometimes you
yeah,
have to do it and the situation calls for it. And the answer is yes. The answer is
yeah.
yes to that whole thing. The intelligence call is part of the service. And again, we do a follow-up report review. This is a service, guys. This is not you order a report, nobody talks, we send you something. Yeah, there it is. Just don't ask any questions. See. That's not what this is.
Hmm.
This is a service, right? You order a report, we get on a call, you transfer your intelligence and knowledge to us that we need to do our job. We might have questions during the process. If you guys ever ordered this, you know what I'm talking about. Questions during the process. When it's done, we reach out, we schedule a report review. We go over the report for 10 or 15 minutes, make sure everything is correct and aligned. I'm not going to lie, I've had a couple of typos in the report before, stupid, silly mistakes. I've had a couple of, I missed a sale and the agent provided for me that was not brought up on the intelligence call. We found out later on. Sometimes this happens, right? We're humans, right? Especially if we're under an expeditious element. Sometimes this happens. We're rushing to get this done. We do it together. We make sure everything's buttoned up. If anything has to get added or edited, we do that. All right.
Yeah.
This is not pay to play. This is different. This is accuracy and making sure we're covering depth. There's times when agents said, "Oh, you got to put this and this in there." And I'm like, "No, I don't. That is not correct. I don't agree with that." Or I don't agree with this, or I don't agree with this. That has happened before. Me and John have had these arguments as well, right? We work them out, we do the best we can, and we put it straight out there for a conversation. And if we have to go on a call with the seller, I do a strategy call with your client. You could be there, you don't have to be there, right? It adds a different level, a different layer, right?
Yeah.
If you're in a situation where the seller's just not listening,
Yeah.
and it's already like a little it's like it's a little troubled situation. Say, you know what? I'm getting this report, and I'm also getting you guys go in the call, go on with these guys, talk to them, deal with them, and then make your decision. We could do that.
Yeah. How far in Brooklyn? A house in Diker Heights? Yeah. So about, I think it's about 16%, nearly 20% of our reports so far have been in Brooklyn. So a house in Diker Heights, not a problem. again, to Noah's point, a lot of this revolves around the information that you have that we might not have. So we're focused on, extracting some of your information about the market, any comps that you might think just happened because especially it's a house. You might say, all right, there's a house two down the block, perfect comp, etc. So we're definitely going to lean on you for some of that. New dev sponsored units, totally done those. We've priced entire buildings before, like actually helped reprice some buildings actually in Brooklyn,
Yep.
going back to the Brooklyn point to kind of understand. All right, well, they're not moving at this price. Why not? What's happening in this market? Where are buyers? Here's how we would suggest, basically looking at the Schedule A and saying, all right, all of these prices here, we would adjust this one this much, this one this much, this one this much to really fit the unit size with where the buyers are. So yes, yes to all.
Yeah, good questions. And that's basically it, guys. I don't want to. Did you say it costs 500 to 700? What's the price depend on? Thank you. So again, I'm showing my price sheet. Guys, look at my price sheet. We start at 495. So like if you just want an UrbanDigs report, that is this top section, the advisor report. Then we have all these add-ons, right? Do you need an appraisal for us to add into the report? Do you need a seller strategy call? Do you need to expedite delivery of this whole thing? So there's add-ons here, right? The appraisal add-on, that doesn't go to us. That goes to the Gotham valuation. We have to pay him for the appraisal. Okay. 495 under a million, it starts to go up as the price goes up. If you have any interest in this service, email John.
Please do.
Email John. John
Uh,
at UrbanDigs. Yeah.
it's only once you get above 10 million that the price gets a little bit flexible. Really depends on complexity. So like
Well,
I
we've done
said,
a
if you've
$50
got that
million
50 foot,
deal. I mean, it's crazy.
we've with our biggest is 50 million. That's true. That
50
was, and
million.
let me tell you,
Nikki
we
Field.
literally nailed it on the
It sold for
number.
50 million.
It sold for 50. We said
We
50
came
million.
in
It
at
sold for
50
50
million
million.
and it sold
That
for
was pretty
50
cool.
million. Nikki Field. Yeah, that was a
Uh-huh.
big one.
The lowest we've done, I think, was it's 450,000. So we really have
Yeah.
run the entire gamut, co-ops, condos, uptown, downtown, Brooklyn, all over the place. So we've done it all. Um, but we have a story for you. No matter what you've got, we've probably got something at this point that matches your story and your unit and
Yeah.
the story it tells.
And we try to price these things relative to the price point, guys. I mean, as price goes up, complexity goes up. These reports take a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of effort to do. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, right? This is on steroids, this report. Um, we have to charge something, and we try to make it a little easier, knowing the commissions in the lower end are lower and the commissions are higher and higher. This is how we equalize the report. Okay. At the end of the day, this came down. We were doing this on our own for over $1,000 every report about a year and a half ago. These have actually come down as we've created the system. We could do it for a little cheaper, right?
Yes, and on that, I just want to point out one of the questions I've had on like all of these calls is this AI? It is not AI. Do we
Nope,
use AI? Yes, we
we
do,
do.
but that's not has nothing to do with the analytics. It has nothing to do with the interpretation of the data. It's more about like making sure we don't have typos, making sure the grammar's correct. So in that sense, there is, but really, uh, I have noticed, and I've seen this on some of the Macro Monday calls that people say, "Oh, I use, Gemini to help me price it." And you can put that out there and it'll give you a crazy range. Like it's you want to try that, be my guest, but we
Go for
don't.
it.
It's
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 not
uh
good.
it's not good.
It's
And
not there yet.
I find myself getting pulled into the weeds of data discussion, but I'll just tell you that we put a lot of work into our data. I mean, a lot of work into the granular level of Manhattan and Brooklyn sales. Like you have a condop and everything's res one, and we are going to open those ACRIS documents up. We're going to go through and try to figure out what's the actual unit that's attached to that res one, that kind of thing. So we're always looking for making sure sales line up with listings. If there's a sale that doesn't match, why not? What's going on? So I don't trust anybody else's data, to be frank, at this point. So I'll say that.
Because of
Toot
what
my own
you've seen.
horn.
Because of what you've seen. I don't trust anyone
Uh,
else's data either because of what
quick,
I've seen.
quick. What is your email address? We should probably put this in the thing. John, John at
John at
urbandigs.com.
urbandigs.com. Okay, let me show you in case you guys need this. Let me just put this in here for you. John at urbandigs.com. Okay. If you guys need to order something, how do I get out of here? X me out of this thing, right? You can go to Urban Digs. Again, here's Urban Digs. You guys are familiar with Urban Digs. Custom services right over here. And Urban Digs Advisor is the top one right here. You could
Yeah.
just click on this little button and that initiates the process. It's a form. It has questions, right? You're giving us a bunch of the information here. What's going to happen? You send this in. We have a person that's going to call you, follow up with you, and then ask if you would like to set up a discovery demo with John. That's the process.
Her name's
Okay?
Alicia. She's
Her
great.
name is
She's
Alicia.
she's from she's got a Texas drawl.
She's from
So growing up
Texas.
in Texas, I
I love that
appreciate
accent.
that.
Yeah.
Um, quick questions. Noah John, what is local and large area days on the market? Great question. So when
Well,
we're
yep.
talking about market sentiment, we have a number of charts, such as some supply, demand, and all these things. One of the things we do with charts is we're breaking down the market area of the unit. So if you've got something like, say, a Central Park West, and this is the example we use, we have Central Park West 3 bed facing the park. Okay. The data for that unit is going to be totally different than other Upper West Side units. So we're basically sometimes we'll have a local area, which is basically just that slice of Central Park West, and then we'll have a larger area, which is kind of that, the Upper West Side. And part of that has to do with what Noah mentioned earlier, that fungibility aspect, which is like, look, if you're going to drop $5 million on a unit on a home, you might look at outside of Central Park West. I get it that there's certain draws there. Maybe you want to be in the Dakota, you want to be just under, Yoko Ono. Right, that's fine. You can totally do that. But you might also be interested in Riverside too, if something crosses your mind, like a big townhouse over there. Okay, maybe. So we just want to make sure that sometimes we hyperlocate to your unit, but also we kind of want to show a little bit more perspective about what's happening in the market. So that's why sometimes, and not all the times, you'll see two markets represented, a local and a slightly larger area.
Yeah. Good answer. And sometimes when we do that, I mean, we don't always do it. It depends on the situation. Sometimes we'll just do the local. But if the local's too granular and there's just not enough information, the charts are unreadable because it's just
We've
too
seen
small
that.
sample size.
We've all
So
seen
so
that.
we'll provide that, but then we'll say here it's better if you go into a larger area and take a look for trend purposes.
Yeah, last question. Well, it is the last question, but it might not be the final question. Can you provide us a pitch paragraph to use with our buyers and sellers to promote your market expertise? Yes. So every report ends, there's an about us. So that hopefully helps, but if that's not exactly what you're looking for, just let me know and we can
Well,
write something up. But
well, when we you can email us if you want that beforehand. When we deliver the report, there's a little about this report that also comes. That's there.
yeah,
And
that's okay.
again, the report comes with conclusions that John and I do. Me and John do the conclusions. We don't AI it. We don't AI it. Those pricing conclusions are me and John taking all the data and information and doing our weighted averages. Overweighting this, underweighting this, it's tricky. We've learned a lot by doing all this, and we've approached it differently with all that wisdom and seeing it, right? Seeing which strategies work, which didn't work. We've learned to try to master our craft. So we'll put those summaries in the report as well.
Okay, quick question. Where do we find absorption rate based on price point in your UrbanDigs chart?
Oh,
So I think this is an
well,
UrbanDigs question.
this is an UrbanDigs question. Let me just show you really quick while you're here. If you go to UrbanDigs and you go to the chart room, okay, chart room on the left, right over here, and you scroll all the way down, where's my months of inventory? That's basically your absorption. Okay, we call it months of inventory, but it's basically the same thing. As it goes up, bad, market bad. As it goes down, market good. If you guys want to do price points, just click on that chart and you can go ahead and add different price points. Like you could just to show you what I'm talking about here, 1 to 2 million. You do this on your own time. Add them here, generate the chart. It always takes a little time when you customize these things, and it will spit out absorption rates for those different price points. You can do it on your own. Okay, there you go. Okay. And I always, whenever you're looking at these charts, I always, guys, don't forget to look here. Like that's your legend. It's showing you
Mhm.
what is what the index is, what the percentage changes are. That's your basic information. But that's how you do that.
That's
Okay.
actually an interesting chart. Look at that fall from 20 January 21 into January 22.
Yeah.
That was when Manhattan really kicked it off, right? Late 2020. Boom,
Yeah.
that's the recovery, the pandemic recovery right there.
Interesting. That's it. That's all I got, guys. I know this was infomercially, but we're getting a lot of requests for this service, and I hope this helped to explain again the why and how it works and why it works. That was the goal of today. So consider us an extension of your team, guys. When the situation arises and you're in trouble or a challenging situation, think of us, right? We are there to help. Okay? And that is thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone. Appreciate you
Uh,
joining us. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, John, John, at urbandigs.com, or Noah, Noah, at urbandigs.com. We pride ourselves on our customer service, so looking forward to hearing from you.
that's true. We do. We love you guys. We love you guys. We love
Yeah,
what we're
we
doing.
do.
Thank you, John Walkup. I am Noah Rosenblatt. This has been How to Use Advisor, and we hope to help you on a property soon. Take care, everybody. See you guys on Monday.